Hello and welcome back to the Making a Husband podcast with me, stand-up comedian, de-influencer and actor Tez Ilyas.
What do you mean de-influencer?
Like I de-influence people from things. Like Biscoff or matcha.
Oh, okay,
or
right.
like pistachio kanafa, whatever.
Yeah.
I de-influence it for people.
It is a word, isn't it? De-influence. I think I've
so.
seen it.
I think it's become a new word.
Yeah, you should do some videos on that.
Yeah.
When you say come with me to de-influence.
De-influence whatever is the latest trend.
Yeah. I mean, you
But
ruined it for everyone.
Sometimes I don't. I'm like, go watch this because it's fantastic. So sometimes I don't de-influence. Sometimes I'm like, actually go and watch it. But a lot of times I do de-influence.
You do, yeah.
I'm a big hater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm with me this week. Ashley will be every single week.
Yeah.
To influence me is
Tez's wife, Shy Ilyas, a normal civilian.
Normal Civilian 95 and that.
Yeah. What episode are we on?
46.
How do you know that?
Because you told me.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what day it was yesterday?
No.
Given when the podcast goes out. Think about when the podcast goes out.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah. So what day was it yesterday?
Saturday. What day was it yesterday?
No, the podcast goes out on a Tuesday, innit?
Yeah.
So what day was it yesterday?
Monday.
Right. Monday the what?
The 21st? Oh, wait, it's our anniversary.
Happy anniversary,
It's our anniversary,
Shy.
guys.
She doesn't care. She doesn't know.
You do
She
this
doesn't
all
care.
the time.
She doesn't know.
No.
She doesn't love me.
No, that's not fair. We record in advance, so he tricked me there. I was already thinking about this, but I was thinking we'll do it for the next episode.
Well, the next episode will be a week away from our anniversary. Our anniversary was yesterday,
Guys-
as they are watching this.
Guys, welcome to episode 46 and happy anniversary to us.
And messages happy anniversary in the comments.
Yeah.
Right, Shy?
Right, Tez?
What have we been up to this week?
Mm,
You were mentoring kids, right?
I did. Yeah. I joined a mentor program. It's only for, I feel like it's for 6 to 8 weeks. It's Blackburn based. Really, really good initiative. And it was the person that organises it is part of, she leads the netball team. So she kind of dropped a message in a few months ago and asked.
Oh, the netball team where you don't keep score.
I haven't played for ages because it's every month, but we've got a break now till September. But anyway, yeah. So you have a group of children. They went from being 16 to maybe like 19, 20. And they either were a bit unsure of what they want to do. They're looking for some kind of future. They're basically at the point where they're not really quite sure what they want to do with their life.
So young kids who need a bit of mentoring.
Blackburn based, yeah.
Yeah, who from our background.
Yeah, from South Asian background.
Okay, and what did you learn? Like, what was the...
do you know what? This man, right, has zero patience. When I was telling him, he was like, I don't know how you do that. I don't know if I'd have the patience.
Nah, but you know what it is? Because when they're like, oh, I just think everyone's always looking at me and laughing. They're not in it.
Tez has, I don't know what's happened
But
to
they're
this
not.
man.
So just get over it.
His empathy level is probably down. It is quite low.
It is. And I realise I have a massive patience problem.
You do.
I think the thing is that because I didn't come from any sort of money or wealth or, a family that had connections, or even like if I look at the career that I ended up in, there was not even that many role models for me to look up to and stuff. Yeah. And it's just something that you find from within, innit? And you find something from within, and you just cling on to that, and you just battle through it. I've got such imposter syndrome. I never think that I'm good enough. I'm always self-critical and stuff, but just one foot in front of the other, innit? So sometimes when I hear like, oh, but what, I'm like, just
Well, I have to explain to this
man.
man, but not everyone is like you, though.
I completely get
And
that.
to be honest, you are probably a
And
minority.
I get it's my problem.
Yeah.
I understand completely it's my problem.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm a bit like, I think we need to not pander to people all the time. Sometimes it's a bit of tough love as well.
I mean-
sometimes a bit of like, just, it'll be all right, man.
But children are struggling. I have noticed, and I'll tell you why. I was talking
I
to one of the leaders yesterday. I think what's happening is they're even struggling for work experience at the moment. And I think the problem is especially like in law firms and things like that, because there was a couple of kids there that want to go into law, for example, and they're like, we cannot find any work experience. We don't want to get paid, just work experience. And I think the problem is there are a lot of students that are coming out of university with law degrees also looking for that work experience.
Any degree.
Or any degree, yeah? And also looking for work experience. And what's happening is, obviously, these law firms or accountancy, whatever, they're putting them as priority, right? Because the chances of them doing work experience and therefore turning it into a full-time role is high
Mm.
compared to a 16-year-old doing it for 2 weeks.
Of course. Of course.
But there are there. I do think there's less opportunities now, and I think that's what's happening in the world. I do think that. I think there's a bit of a problem, and it is tough though. Another problem me and Tez have is I've got too much empathy, and Tez has.
Between us, we probably have the right amount of empathy.
Yeah,
The
but
problem is just completely unbalanced. Whereas she has a lot more and I have a bit less. It's not that I'm not empathetic to people, but I am also sometimes a bit like look, racism exists, sexism exists, whatever sort of, if you're not like just the conventional type, yeah, that there's some sort of prejudice against you, yeah. Even if you're the conventional type, there's probably prejudice against you now as well. Whatever you are, there'll be some sort of bigotry or prejudice against you, whether because for historical reasons, whether because you used to be super prejudiced against, or whether you were the people doing the prejudicing. Yeah, right now we're in a weird place in society. But I just think to myself, let's take race as an example, right? Pakistani, northern, working class Muslim, right? So all of those things, there is a bit of prejudice that exists against all of those things, right? And it does mean life was a bit harder for me when I was a kid. Yeah, when I was
yeah,
trying to look for opportunities, applying for things, all of that stuff, right? Life was hard for that kid, right? But I'm not exceptional. I'm not special. If
you
I
are to
can,
me.
thank you. But I'm saying in the general scheme of things, I'm not exceptional. I'm not special. I'm not a genius in any kind of way. Um, like if I can get to the sort of life that I've created for myself, and not to say that it's easy, and not to say that's setbacks, and other people have other issues, and I completely understand that. I also grew up in a single parent household and all that, right? And I got thrown out of home when I was 16. But if I managed to overcome all of that and made some of myself, and I'm not saying it could be more than me, it could be a bit less than me, whatever. Yeah, I just think sometimes we put excuses in front of people and be like, oh well, because it's hard for you because you're this, or you're a woman, you're Asian, you're black, yeah, you're working class, and and that's completely true. All of those things will make it harder for you. But the fact is that everyone who's made it that you might look up to in any sort of business, politics, entertainment, sports field also had those barriers.
Yeah,
Like they had those barriers.
yeah.
Like you're a woman,
Hmm.
Asian woman,
Hmm.
Muslim woman who
Hmm.
works in a STEM, science, technology, engineering, math field, right?
Yep.
You work in technology.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like you did it.
Yeah. But, and I always say but that we all have different levels of
True.
resilience.
True. That's the
These,
thing.
yeah.
That's the
But
thing.
also, Tez,
Resilience.
these kids are not the ones that I spoke to. They're not accepting that they haven't got anything. Therefore, being like, right, I'm signing up or I'm doing this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They still have the passion to one of the girls was like, I've got 100,
Mm.
100. Or I think that there's a few things here. One is the problem is Blackburn, because you have to go outside of Blackburn, right? And
We're a big problem, guys.
no, I love Blackburn. You know I love Blackburn.
We're a big problem.
But even me, I grew up in a small village, right? It was a small village. I knew,
You had to
even
get
though
out.
my first
You
two
had to get
jobs
out.
were in where I grew up in, because they were very small. Like one was a boutique, one was actually I think Specsavers, because it just opened up. But my main job after university, I had to go out. I had to
Yeah.
go out. It was
Yeah.
like 45 minutes to
But-
commute, an hour commute, whatever.
But Blackburn is a much bigger place than where you grew up.
It is, but if you want to go in certain fields, or if
Yeah.
you can't,
Oh, yeah. 100%,
or for
100%.
example, if you want to apply at TK Maxx here, you have to drive, right? Or you have to figure out a bus route. But if you don't have a retail job here, you can go to Preston, or you have to apply to Manchester, right? And I
Or
think-
Darwin.
or Darwin,
Chorley
yeah,
or whatever, yeah.
yeah, and there's that problem as well. But what I don't know what parents are like here to say to their children, yeah, that's fine. You're 16. If you want a part-time job, you can get the train to Preston, or you can get the train to Manchester, or you can, because sometimes they don't, because Blackburn's very small, right? In that sense where
Insular.
it's very community driven as well, which is fine. So I think what I'm trying to say is that yes, it's different now, because the kids that we are seeing are children they could be our children. Like not, but the age that we're at, they could be our children, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're old enough.
No, but we are though.
Yeah, I know.
And these it's better to see them trying rather than not trying. That's why that I see it. Hence why I'm very like, okay, these children have a lot of potential. Some of them want to go into law, some of them want to go into sports journalism. A couple of them literally have no idea what to do with their life. And
Mm.
I feel for them
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
you grow,
I like we grew up around kids like
yeah,
that as well. There
yeah,
were
yeah,
kids like
yeah.
that we went to school with that they might have been quite smart and book smart and stuff, but
Yeah.
once they left school, college, uni,
Mm.
didn't really know how to adapt into the real world.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
so if there's a young girl who's applied for hundreds of jobs and she's not getting any, there's probably an issue with how she's applying for jobs.
Well,
There's probably an issue in her personal statements. There's
well,
probably an issue. There might be how she presents herself in
Well,
writing.
hence that's what we're going to focus
Right?
on
Yeah.
next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
was pushing more for, okay, let's talk about personal statement summary, for example, because I know
Mm.
when I interview people, I'm very quick to be like, I don't look at the CV first of all. I don't look at the qualifications. I want to know the person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And also, I'm very like to these guys. Listen, at this age, realistically, you're not going to get fantastic jobs, right?
Right.
You're
You
not
got
going
to
to get
hustle. You got to
fantastic.
hustle.
Yeah, but they are absolutely fine with that. Go to corner shops. I think I told a girl yesterday. So go to Wally Range, for example. Print your CV. We're going to go through it. Go to Wally Range and have a look at on the windows where they say we're looking for a sales assistant. Bang, boom. Just go in and
Mm.
say, and you have to be confident.
Yeah, and confidence comes from within.
Yeah,
Someone can teach you what confidence is. Someone can give you the tools of confidence, but ultimately, confidence comes from something from within, and it comes through practice, and it comes through putting yourself out there.
yeah,
If you're a shy person, and there's nothing wrong with that, we all. In certain situations, I'm shy.
yeah. Me too.
I'm nervous.
Yep.
But unless you put your best foot forward and try and go through it and try and get past it, you're never going to get over that barrier. If you've got a fear of working with the public, but the only jobs available to you as a young
Public.
person,
Yeah.
or in retail or in catering, which sometimes does involve dealing with the public, you have to just give it a go.
Yeah.
And you will find out very, very quickly that your worst fears are not going to be realized. Your pants aren't going to fall down in the middle of a shopping floor
Yeah.
and everyone's going to laugh at you. That just isn't going to happen. I know it's an extreme example, but I'm just saying, like, the worst case
Yeah.
scenario, whatever it is in your head, is not going to happen. No one's laughing at you.
Yeah.
Or even if someone does laugh at you, you're probably never going to see them again.
No. It's interesting though, isn't it? I do feel like the children now, it's very different. Like I don't know what's going to be like when we have kids, for example.
Yeah, but I think back to my high school and the kids that I went to school with, and I was a kid then myself. The kids that I went to school with, these same issues existed.
Yeah. But we kind of just went into it, right? We didn't have the support.
I became a mentor for, like, I was in year 10 or 11, so I'm 15, 16, and I'm a reading mentor
Yeah.
for kids who are like a year or two younger than, not even a year, sometimes in the same year as me.
Yeah.
But like, obviously, it's not with anyone you know, but like maybe say a year younger than me, right? And these kids could read. They knew how to read. They had zero comprehension skills.
Yeah.
So they'd read a page to me,
But they didn't understand.
and then I'd be like, okay, hang on, let's just wait. What happened? And they were just guessing.
I was
They were
I was like that as well.
They
I
were
did that.
completely just guessing what they think they'd read.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, you've not understood a single page of what you've written.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you. It's not like they couldn't read. They could read.
Yeah.
So they can
'cause
read
you process
signs.
it.
They just couldn't process in their head what they were reading. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not a teacher. I don't have that. I'm not built that way. I don't have that sort of patience. But I was like, how do you help someone in that situation?
That's patience.
I know. I'm not the right. I wouldn't be the right person. But even then, I was like, when you're a kid, you don't take anything that seriously.
No,
innit?
you don't.
You're like, I couldn't for the life of me understand it. I was like, I don't, because they can. It's not like sometimes, obviously, because when you think someone can't read, you think, oh, they literally don't know how to read the words.
Yeah.
But I would say those kids couldn't read.
Yeah.
Because they could literally read the words,
But they couldn't
but they
process and
couldn't understand
yeah.
what they were reading.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they weren't like super.
But
complicated
those
books or
kids
anything,
didn't.
But it was weird.
But those kids, they probably never. They could have been dyslexic or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean,
And that's not something
I
that-
don't know what issues they had or didn't have.
But that's not something that. And I was talking to my friend about this. That's not something that was identified or acknowledged or really supported because I was talking.
Like my ADHD has gone completely undiagnosed.
He's not ADHD. But I was talking to her. She was like, Shy, she goes, I suffered a lot from anxiety and I suffer from anxiety. You know I do, right? But all that stuff, we didn't know what it was. So we just used to, I don't know, in hindsight.
Yeah, you just put your
was it-
best, but you put your best foot forward,
But in
and
hindsight, I'm
you
like,
realize that
yeah,
all those
yeah.
things you were anxious about, they didn't ruin your life.
No, they didn't ruin my life. Absolutely not.
You got,
But it just
you
made my
battled through it.
anxiety worse because it was undiagnosed. So there's stuff that's caught up with me now.
Sure.
But there's kids now that I think that they're educated enough to know what's anxiety, but I don't think we have the tools right now as to fully understand to support them. Rather than instead of if a child says I'm anxious and just okay fine don't do that, but it shouldn't. It'd be like no, you have to find ways of encouraging them to go ahead and do
Go
it,
get over it, is get through it, is stop
and that's
pandering,
hard. That's hard.
to people's.
It's not pandering. Stop saying
No,
pandering.
but I think there is a bit of pandering. I think over the last few years, because of the rise of mental health
Yeah.
awareness, that I think there has been a little bit of like, oh, you've got that. Okay, well then maybe you shouldn't do that, and it shouldn't be. I feel like we've got it slightly wrong in that we think mental health means that we should then excuse people from taking on certain challenges and maybe even pulling them up on certain behaviors, but I don't think that's true.
But also that could
I think
also
we should acknowledge whatever their challenge is, whether it's anxiety or whatever issue they've got, be it dyslexia or whatever, right? We should acknowledge that,
yeah.
and acknowledge that, okay, therefore I understand this is going to be slightly harder for you, but I don't think we should shy away from then asking them and encouraging them to get through the thing that they're worried about.
Yeah, I agree. But also
That's what I mean about pandering. I don't mean as in going, oh, okay, well then
Yeah.
you'd have to do that.
But
then.
there is a deeper. And it's actually really interesting because I can't remember. I think I was talking to my older sister about this. I think the difference is we grew up in environments where our parents gave us a lot of tough love. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was very tough love, innit?
yeah.
Whereas this now, what's passed on as children, we don't do tough love anymore with our kids because we're very expressive.
I will.
Well, you might, but we're very expressive. We're a lot
Sure.
more. We're a lot more.
But you
like,
can be tough
so
love and
hence
expressive.
why, yeah. So hence, but I know that. But what I'm trying to say, a lot of the scenarios, situations are where you're a lot more like softer towards your children. Where our parents weren't as soft because they didn't have time. You know, we had unconditional love, everything, but they didn't have time to sit there and pander. Right? I say pander, but you know, our parents were like they were working. They had to cook, clean, look after us, do everything. They didn't have time to. So if we sat there and said, "Mom, I don't want to do my exam tomorrow,"
And there was less understanding of all
and
of
there
these
was less
things
understanding
as well.
So then it's kind of the next lot of parenting are very like, oh, but we've learned from that, so we're going to take time out and listen to the children, and we're going to take time out and we're going to make sure that they're okay and they're comfortable.
I think you're giving most parents too much credit. I don't think most parents are doing that.
I think a lot more parents now
A lot
have
more,
more
sure. A lot more,
patience
sure.
now. Yeah.
I don't think it's most parents though.
Okay.
I don't think.
Interesting.
Think about from the parents that we know, right? How many parents
Your
that
sisters
we
are a lot
know
more patient.
now?
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying.
they weren't when their kids were younger.
I mean, the kids are young.
Yeah, but I'm saying when there's like they didn't get that.
No, she gets it now though.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm just saying in it that they've
Yeah,
also
yeah,
evolved over the last.
Yeah, but that's
few years,
also,
I'm
I
saying.
think, is because your sisters were growing themselves as people.
Sure,
Because
yeah,
they got married.
that's fair.
And that's
But
the
I
same with
think-
my sisters. I think they were
Yeah.
also growing. So hence why
Yeah, your older nieces wouldn't have got that.
she molded. Yeah, I think it depends a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were very spoiled.
that's not what we're aiming for though. Being spoiled is
Like
not what
spoiled,
it's not
loved,
the
very,
aim.
very loved, very like if they didn't want to do something, like the older one did. She didn't want to do something, but like you shouldn't have to do it.
Okay,
Whereas
but that even of itself,
it's not good.
It's not
because-
good.
No, of course it's
Yeah,
not. Because
yeah.
afterwards, the detrimental effect, the impact, is they're more less likely to be involved in certain things or want to do stuff. So it does. It's
There's a balance to be struck
yeah, it's
between
interesting.
gentle parenting
Yeah.
and what our parents did.
Yeah.
There's definitely an in between. There's a balance where you can take the best of both worlds and create something holistic. But I think that word that you touched on earlier, resilience,
Yeah.
is probably the most underrated trait that
Yeah.
anyone can have.
Yeah.
Resilience. If you are resilient, it just means you are. It doesn't mean that you shy away from challenges. It doesn't mean that you avoid challenges. It doesn't mean that challenges don't affect you.
Yep.
It means that whatever you're affected by, be it big or small, you are able to get through it.
Yep.
And that's life.
Yeah.
You shouldn't avoid difficult conversations, difficult experiences. You shouldn't shut down from them. And that's not to say that you shouldn't even be affected by them. Be affected by them, but also have the tools to understand that nothing is the end of the world.
Yeah. That comes with time and
It
experience.
does come with time and experience. But
Yeah.
and I also think people are. So it's honestly, when people say to me in comedy, what's the number one? Is it like timing? Is it resilience? The people, because when you start doing comedy, it's so hard. Like you're really rubbish, and people aren't laughing at your jokes and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Not me, I was good. But generally, now I had tough gigs. But there were loads of people around me when I was starting up that were also talented, maybe even more talented than me in some cases, but didn't have that resilience
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
have really rubbish gigs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that affect you and be like, it's embarrassing. Imagine standing in front of people and no one's laughing.
Yeah.
Like that's like, or they're gonna be laughing at me afterwards.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that, to get over that, takes a lot of resilience to push through that and be like, no, I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna make a career out of it. That's an extreme example, but is it in the case of it comes with bereavement, grief, not getting setbacks at work, not getting a promotion, not getting the jobs you apply for,
Mm-hmm.
um, a number of difficult things at home or whatever, getting dumped by a partner, like a whole host of myriad of things, right?
Yep.
You need the resilience, and so your pet dies, your partner cheats on you, all that stuff, right? All
That
of
comes
that
from
requires
experience.
that experience and
Yeah.
but resilience as well, though.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like take that Coldplay example this week, right? Where that executive and that HR manager got caught cheating at a Coldplay concert, right? All of the people
Yeah.
involved in that story will require resilience.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
The wife and husband, the wife of the guy,
Yep.
the husband of the woman,
Yep.
they require resilience because it's really embarrassing for them.
Yeah, massively.
Because the world doesn't know who they are. We don't know who they are,
Yeah,
right? The
yeah, yeah,
partners.
yeah.
But their friends and family know who they are.
Yeah, yeah,
Their
yeah.
colleagues know who they are. Imagine how embarrassing that is for them.
Of course it is.
The amount of resilience they need to get over that.
Yep.
And then the horrible people that did the cheating,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
their life's been ruined.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They've probably lost their jobs.
Yeah.
They're gonna start over again. Everywhere they go, at least for like 6 months, everyone's gonna know who
Yeah,
they
of
are.
course they
Everyone's
are.
gonna take the
Yeah.
piss out of them.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they are still human beings who've made a mistake, or
Yeah.
be a big one.
Yeah.
They require resilience to get through that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And the people around them who are affected, like, sometimes you get affected secondhand, like the people who work with them,
Yep.
their kids.
Yeah, God.
For
kids.
example,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Their siblings, their parents, right?
Yeah.
All of these people who get secondary affected around them, they will all require resilience to get through that. And
Yeah,
some
yeah.
will find it easier than others. But yeah, anyway, the theme is resilience, guys.
Yeah.
Be resilient.
Talking of resiliency, there's another thing. Tez's mum started driving again.
Talking of resilience.
Yeah.
So my mum passed her test a good 18, 20 years ago, and she drove for quite a long time. And then just randomly, she had my little brothers in the car. She was taking them to school or an after school club or something. And there's a bit of black ice. It gets very icy in the winter in Blackburn. There's a bit of black ice on the road, and her car skidded and nearly hit something. It didn't quite. So luckily, it avoided an accident. And that was maybe going back a good 10 years ago, maybe. So she's been driving for about 7, 8 years. And she just lost all confidence. She just felt like every time she was taking the car down the hill, it felt like the car was just rolling away from her.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she just she couldn't drive down a hill without just constantly having a foot on the brake and just pressing the brake every like 2 meters or whatever, and just going down the hill, like almost like carefully crawling down the hill. And then she gave up a car maybe 6, 7 years ago now. And then throughout COVID and stuff, she didn't have a car. But now that we moved into an area where she's not living in the old area that she did amongst her friends and the shops that she could walk to and stuff. Sometimes we're not at home, so we're not able to offer lifts easily. So my mum's like, "Oh, I need to get back on the road," and so we got my mum a car, and yeah, she's back on it. She was very nervous about it.
She's fantastic.
And first couple of times when she went out on the road, she had the same issue of it's a mental issue of that mental block that she had about driving down a hill.
And then I said yesterday when I went to the session, I said to Tez, make sure you get mum in the car and say to her that she has to pick me up.
Yeah,
and
it was raining. And it was raining.
And it was raining.
Rainy,
and oh my
rainy
God, guys, it
conditions.
was so adorable. Like she came and she was so happy.
She smashed it. She
was,
can drive. My mum
yeah,
can drive. It's
yeah.
just a matter of like refreshing those skills.
And I think that's quite important, especially when you have parents or mother-in-law, father-in-law. Like my mum doesn't drive. Yeah, she's never driven, for example.
But my mum's also quite a young mum.
Yeah, young. Yeah, it's true. But to have them on the road with their independence, it's amazing. Like today, she went out this morning. She was like,
yeah,
left.
I'm taking the car.
Yeah, and then I phoned her. She was really happy. So that's been a big thing for us.
And my mum, it took her 7 or 8 tests.
Yeah.
To pass.
Yeah.
That is resilience.
Yeah.
There's no one. I think in her generation of women, a handful could drive.
Yeah.
And my mum was like, "I'm going to be one of them.
Yeah.
Why not?"
Yeah.
And she did it. And it took her longer than it would take to take me or Shai to pass a test. But she carried on and she smashed it. And now she drives. Anyway, that's been a long introductory.
That has been a very long. Right, guys, it's your favorite time of the podcast where it's Animal Fact of the Week.
Is it, or is it The other one.
The argument's afterwards, don't worry.
Okay.
Because
Animal
I always
fact.
get confused with
It
this.
doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
Animal fact of the week.
Right. So this is where we talk about a random animal that I might want to discuss or talk about, or I've seen a picture of, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. Let's talk about it. And then I test Tez on it. So let's get straight into it.
Go on.
Tigers.
I love tigers.
How long?
Tigers are my top 3 favorite animals.
How long have they been around for?
Ages.
How long?
Oh no, you're not gonna give me a multiple choice?
No, because you said
Oh.
that your favorite animal. You said
Well,
top
all
3.
right, but I don't know. It's mother's maiden name, do I? Tigers have been around for at least 4 million years.
2 million years. Wrong.
Decent though.
Okay.
A decent little guess.
Is it true India have over half of the world's population of tigers?
True.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 75%.
Yeah, Bengal tiger.
This is something that I was reading up, which is quite interesting.
Mhm.
India, I think there's like 3,900 altogether. They've done.
You know, they
yeah?
call the lion the king of the jungle, but
Yeah.
the lion doesn't live in the jungle. Tiger lives in the jungle.
Tiger.
Tiger is actually the king of the jungle.
So they actually did a project last year to double the amount of tigers because they're endangered species, right?
Mhm.
And they actually managed to complete it, which is absolutely
I
phenomenal.
love tigers
Yeah.
are beautiful animals.
Okay, so tigers can run,
Mm,
right,
right.
up to, is it between 30 to 40 miles per hour, 40 to 50 miles per hour, or 50 to 60 miles per hour?
Cheetahs run at about 70, 80 miles per hour. That's cheetahs, and we know they're the fastest mammal, the fastest cat. So I'm going to go 50 to 60 miles per hour.
30 to 40.
Is it? Or did that slow?
So basically, they can run up. They
still
they
quite
run up
fast.
to 30 to 40, up to 100 meters, and then they slow down
Yeah,
because.
yeah,
But then
yeah.
they're expecting to catch their prey within that.
Yeah,
30 to
yeah.
40.
But also, they're big lads, tigers. They're
Yeah,
really big
massive.
lads.
Yeah.
They're bigger than lions.
Yeah.
People don't know this.
Yeah,
Tigers
yeah,
are bigger
they
than
are.
lions.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess they can't.
But did you
yeah.
also know that when tigers have their babies and they want to communicate with their babies, they communicate via their ears,
What? Just bite them.
little making like
Or
movements with
just
their
put their ears next to their ear.
ears. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Mm.
Mm.
There you go. So you only got one right.
Okay, but I still love tigers.
Yeah.
I feel like that 2 million. I said 4 million. I feel like that was in the like. It could be anything in it. I feel like that was not a bad guess.
There's two. You're 2 million out.
I know I'm double the amount out, but other ones we've done like we've been like 40 million years, 50 million years, 25 million years. So me saying 4 million and it being 2 million, it's not a bad guess.
Guys, this is the other favourite part of your podcast where we talk about what Tez has done to annoy me this week. It's argument of the week, but let's go into it. What do you think you've done?
I know I've annoyed you this week.
Oh, do you now?
Yeah, no, this week I'm well aware. But of all things that I've done, I try and narrow it down. But then when you're waiting for me to eat,
That's one of them. Explain what you did though.
I just
explain.
sometimes I get distracted and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pray and then we're gonna come into the room and eat. And then I just get distracted by my phone.
That doesn't explain anything. What was the exact thing? What happened?
But when you came into the room and I was
I
praying,
was upstairs
yeah.
and then you said that I'm going to quickly go read my asr.
I didn't say quickly read my answer. You said, let me know when you no, what happened was you said, let me know when you've prayed,
Yep.
then we can eat.
Yep.
And I said, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't prayed, so I didn't let you know.
So then he went downstairs and he
No,
sat on his
I was
phone.
already downstairs because you text me.
Yeah, no, but before, I mean, when you came out of the bathroom,
Mm.
you were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go downstairs and pray." And I said, "Okay, let me know, then we'll eat." You said, "Okay."
No, you texted me that.
Yeah, no, but we also had. This is what I mean. We also had that. That's not the argument of the week, by the way.
Okay, this is a pre-argument of the week.
So then you went downstairs, and then I messaged you. You said, "Okay," right? And then half an hour passed, and then I messaged you going, "Are you ready to eat?" Question mark. You sent me a TikTok. You didn't respond to that. I got so mad.
Was it a good TikTok though?
No.
What are you annoyed about, man? Tell them innit.
Anyway,
What is the thing?
So my thing is the fact that you decided to put stuff in the washing and you waited a whole week before you put it on. And you know what? I kept my mouth shut this week. So I was like, you know what? Naz keeps telling me, everyone keeps telling me, don't say anything, don't say anything. He's got to learn how to do it by himself. So I kept my mouth shut. And what happened? The whole week, Tez, you left the flipping washing in the washing machine.
Right, because it wasn't full. I was waiting for the washing machine, the drum to be full to put the wash on because I thought that there'll be a couple of things or whatever extra that can go in, and so I was just waiting a couple of days.
But not just a couple of days. You waited a whole week.
Was it a full week?
Yes, sir. You put it in on Saturday, the week gone.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember. Before we went to London.
When did we go to London?
for the wedding.
That was Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
It
so that,
wasn't then. It
babe,
wasn't
I
then.
promise
It
you was,
can't have.
babe.
No, I think it would have been when we came back.
No, because you put the washing in, and then when we came back from London, you said when we come back from London, we're gonna put more washing in. Yeah, that's what you said. When we came back from London, you put. I think I just had like a couple of items. You put that in, and then you left it all
Oh,
week.
yeah. But then it did. Yeah. And what's happened? Nothing's happened.
That's not the point. The point is I've
There
got
hasn't
like
been. There
I've
hasn't
got like
been
my
a.
face towels and stuff like
There
that.
hasn't been a disaster.
The point
You
is,
you look very nice. You're living your life. Nothing's fallen down. I'm being environmentally conscious
and
by not
also.
putting a half drum laundry on.
Also, do you know what this man also did? He puts
what
it
has he
in and then he forgets it, and then
That's true, I
then
did
I
do
have
that.
to remind him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
the one thing I need him to start from start to finish, you don't do it.
No, but I did do it.
The mum put it on spin.
Right.
Only just because I came into the kitchen, mum was about to put the washing out to dry.
And then you were like, let Tez do it.
Yeah,
Oh,
and mum
coulda-
was like, mum
coulda
doesn't
got-
argue anymore.
I
Mum's
could
like,
have
okay.
got away with it.
Mum fully was like, yeah, okay, yeah. We
Listen,
should.
I took the washing
Even
down.
mum's like thinking I've had enough now.
I took the washing down. I put it in the machine. I put all the soaps in, soaps plural. I put them in, and then I switched it on. That's and then I put it out.
It's taken him.
The-
It took
the
him
only thing that
10
mum-
days to do that.
Yeah, fine. There's not been and it was only. It's still. I don't even still think the drum was full.
Tez, please.
I'm just saying.
You
that
can't
I-
have an excuse every time.
No, I think the drum wasn't full.
That's
And
not the
I
point
think
is,
we,
I
we shouldn't
had,
put
like-
a half wash on.
Babe, I had stuff in there that I needed to use.
Then you should put it on then.
Forget it. I can't be arsed.
No, but I think if you're like, okay, I've got emergency stuff to put on, just switch the washing machine on then. Because I'd already done half.
There's
most of the
one
work.
job you had to do though. I've done everything else in the house.
Okay, then just tell me that. Could you put it on now then? Because I need stuff.
Tez, I literally custom. I said this to you on like Thursday, Friday. I said to you, can you put it on? You said, oh no, just gonna have to put more things in.
Okay, I think next time,
Just put it on.
or just be like, listen, put it on.
No, because then you have a very patronising way of
Put it
saying, I know I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna put a few more things in.
Yeah, because we also got to be environmentally conscious. Remember what world we live in.
Yeah. Do you want to think
All
about that
these-
when you're in the shower in the toilet
all these
for
kids-
hours on end?
Me being on the toilet doesn't do anything for the environment. All these kids
On
who
your
can't-
phone, like-
all these kids who can't find jobs. Yeah, what job are they gonna have when they have got no environment, when they got no planet to live
What
on?
have you learnt from this?
I've learned that I should put the washing on earlier, but also you've learned that if you need it done, just let me know. Because I don't like putting a half drum on. Right, Shy?
Right, Tez?
Now's your turn. And I'm gonna ask you a would you rather question.
Oh,
So let's learn about the way Shy's mind works. Right. Would you rather gain the knowledge of any book by touch? So for example, I've touched this book. I know everything about this book and any knowledge within it that I need to know.
right.
Or gain the skills of any person by touch.
Is that any books or any people? Or just one book and one person?
Any book, any person.
Huh.
So you can touch any book and all of the knowledge within it you now acquire. Or you touch any person and any skill they have, you now have.
Huh.
It doesn't mean they don't have it. You don't take their skill off them.
What kind of skills are we talking about?
Or it could be like, I don't know, let's say someone's an engineer,
Hmm.
right? Or someone's like the best, like someone can juggle. For example, let's say someone can juggle. I don't know how to juggle. Do you know how to juggle?
No.
Right, neither of us know how to juggle. Let's say someone out here knows how to juggle. Let's say your sister knows how to juggle, right? Then you touch your sister, now you know how to juggle.
Hmm.
Or would you, that's a good one, isn't it? Or would you rather touch any book and now you have the knowledge that's within that book?
And then I can learn how to do stuff.
Yeah, or just have the knowledge. You still got to learn how to do it, I guess. You got the knowledge of it.
We're touching a lot of people.
But it depends what skill you want.
How'd you get to people though?
I don't know, any person in it. Just, so for example, you could shake their hand.
But do I have access to anyone though?
No, you don't. You'll have to get the access how you get to it, innit?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, but for example, what's a skill that you'd love to have? What's a skill that you'd love to have?
Probably to be able to do like mathematical questions and stuff like that. Be like super smart in maths, a professor.
Yeah, so you just shake the professor's hand, and then you've got the mathematician skills that he's got.
Okay, I'm gonna say because I am a bookworm, I'm gonna go for the books.
What books would you be touching to get the knowledge of? Let's say.
I'll go to the library, touch all of them: maths, mathematical scientists, the encyclopedia, everything, dictionary, everything.
But then would that not become a bit
Stocks,
overwhelming?
shares,
Well,
everything.
you still got the same brain now.
Yeah.
So then not get a bit overwhelming.
Well, depending what I'm interested. If I'm like, oh, you know what, and I want to invest in some crypto, I'll just go to some books about the stocks or what stuff, and I'll just do it. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I know exactly what to do.
Right. But then
Or
I
if I want to
could
be a doctor, I might go and do all the medical books, touch all
right, but
them.
then I could touch a doctor though.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm saying, but what access do you have? Remember, I'm
No, but listen, for example, right? Let's say you want to be the best football. Let's say you want to be Messi level football.
yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, right. So obviously I can't get to Messi right now. That's fine. But I just make my way up to it. I can get to like
How old are you? They're gonna be like to you? Oh, you're gonna play football.
that's fine, right? But let's say I'll touch a Blackburn Rovers player. That's quite easy for me to get access to, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm a championship level player. Then because I'm a footballer, I get access to other footballers.
How are you?
I just touch another one. And then I just keep touching football. And then every time I touch a footballer, I'm now at the next level of football, innit? Until eventually I'll be playing like Champions League and that. And then I'll just touch like Mbappe or Jamal or something, innit? And then I'm as good as they
But
are.
that's only if Rovers take you on though to be a footballer.
No, but I'm good enough though, innit?
But how?
I've got the
but
skills.
You need to be given the chance though.
Yeah, I'll just be like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, then I'll touch Mehdi Hassan. I'll shake his hand. So now I've got the debating skills.
That's true.
Now I've got the
Mehdi Hassan's
persuasive.
a very good debater.
Now I've got the persuasiveness and debating skills.
I touched Saidawasi.
Right, and now you're a what? Not what you now?
I can debate as well.
Yeah, you can debate as well. But no, I just think like so many people have got bare skills in it.
Yeah. That's
But I
true.
think to myself, like, actually, what skills do I need in my life right now? And I think the number one skills that would help me right now: patience, discipline,
Yep.
timekeeping,
Yep.
video editing,
Yep.
and learning all those skills. Like if I would just touch my manager Gelly's hand, I shake his hand. I've got all the skills that Gelly has.
Yeah.
In terms of like video editing and photo editing and audio editing, that would help my life a lot. Right, and then I'll touch my cousin Shabazz because he's part of like the 4 a.m. 5 a.m. club, right?
Yeah.
So get his like timekeeping and ability to just sleep like that whenever you want to sleep.
Yeah.
I think just those little skills there would help my life so much.
Yeah.
Like not procrastinating and stuff.
Yeah.
Just little skills like that. I'd touch you
For what?
because I wanna.
For God's sake. I could just touch a book.
And now what
Where's
happens?
your
What have you
book?
got?
Where is it? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, what have you got?
I've got your trauma.
Yeah, now you got my trauma. Well done. Enjoy that. With none of my resilience. Now you need to touch me to get my resilience.
yeah.
Now you need to touch me to get my resilience.
No, it's interesting.
I'd get you empathy for animals.
Yeah, that's true.
Although actually that might be crap for my life though. Like, I'm distracted as it is. To without getting distracted by every animal that walks past.
No, I mean it's interesting. I mean, I'm still sticking to books.
Go on, what would you be your top 3 books that you touch immediately just to get its knowledge?
Dictionary.
Dictionary. So now you know all the words, I
I know
guess.
all the words.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do the Guinness Book of Records.
Why? Just so you know all the world records.
Yeah.
Are. That's a bit random, though, isn't
I
it?
love facts though. I love random
Fair
facts.
enough. Fair enough. Oh, fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
love random facts.
It'd make the podcast more interesting.
Yeah.
And also,
sense
when I
though.
ask you questions like what are the 7 continents, you'd be like,
Yeah, there you
here
go.
they are,
I know
lad.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be like, what do you call this? Another word for it. There you go.
Boom, that's true.
Yeah,
it had me
yeah.
a lot.
And I'd probably touch some some medical books. There's
Not
gotta be
the
one.
Quran. You don't learn about the Quran.
That's
Fair enough.
But this isn't about religion, Ted.
It's fine. That's fine. Just move on, guys. She doesn't care about Islam or Islam. That's fine. That's fine, guys. Let's clip that up. Get that clip, guys. Shai will never touch the Quran.
That's so bad. The Quran goes without
But
saying.
it could be time of the month, innit? That's why
Yeah,
you can't touch it. That's what it was, guys. Why are you doubting her for? As soon as that's finished, she'll touch it, guys.
Who are you touching? 3 people.
Just touch you, mate.
Okay.
I'll touch my manager Gelly
Yeah.
because I think he's got a lot of technical skills
Yep.
that would be very, very useful to me. I'll touch him. I shake his hand in it. That's a touch.
Yeah.
Then I touch my cousin Shabazz.
That sounds so wrong. We should clip that bit
I'll
out.
touch my cousin Shabazz on
Yeah.
that. No, because he's very disciplined in life.
He is very disciplined.
He gets up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. every single day. So I'd want his like discipline and ability to just fall asleep wherever he needs
Yeah,
to
he does fall asleep.
Like he can just fall asleep. Like when it's bedtime, he can just fall asleep. I'm like that. To me, that is a superpower.
Yeah.
Because it takes me like 2 hours to get to sleep. So the ability to just,
We
like, hit the
go
bed.
for movie nights around the house, and
Oh, he's
Noshi's like he'll be gone. He'll be gone
Yeah.
in a few minutes, and then he literally is. He's like this.
Yeah, he's gone. And then maybe Mehdi Hassan to
Oh,
get those
nice.
like debating, like just to be a master debater.
Oh God.
Hope you kids, that's a word you've learned. A master debater,
Yeah.
and just be really, really good at forming
You'll
arguments and
be
be
up at
really,
4.
really articulate.
You'll be up at 4 a.m. Going to the gym,
Editing
editing
videos
and
and
debating.
debating.
Boom.
I'd be so good.
Yeah.
That would fix my life. I think falling asleep when I want to fall asleep, as in when it's time to fall asleep, just that I think would fix a lot of my life
It
problems.
would. I'm telling you, it would.
It would fix a lot of my, because at the moment, because it takes me so long to fall asleep, it then takes me long to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Just being able to fall asleep at bedtime immediately would fix 40% of my problems, I think.
Yeah. We need to. If anyone out there knows how to help him,
Bouncing out of bed. Like 5 a.m. just bounce out of bed. How do you do that? You can do that.
Yeah.
I saw you once with like 8 a.m. the alarm went off. You just got out of bed. I was like, how?
I have to. Mine is
No,
like,
but like, how do you do that?
just.
I would take that off you as well.
Also, I've realised that I can wake up before my alarm goes off now.
Yeah, I would take that off you as well.
Mm.
Yeah. That's nice.
Guys, we are at that podcast where it's agony aunt and unhelpful uncle.
We are at that point in the podcast.
We are at that point. What did I say?
We are at the podcast.
We are at the podcast.
We are at the podcast, guys.
We're at the podcast. Right. Where we discussed a dilemma where, or a Reddit story that I've come across and I'm going to present it to Tez. This is a dilemma, right, guys? So someone actually sent a message in and they actually created a completely new Instagram account to DM us. How do you send us a dilemma, Tez?
At makingahusband_pod on Instagram.
Yes.
Don't send it to our individual accounts because that's not what it's for. Send it to us on the podcast account and then Shy will read it and we'll discuss it on the pod. And if we can't discuss it on the pod, Shy will get back to you with some advice.
Yep. And it's always anonymous. So we never, ever, and I'll tell you something, 99% of the time, if it's a dilemma, you've sent it to me or to the making a husband, even though we've both got access to it, he won't read it.
I won't read it.
So if you're feeling like, okay, this is not something that I don't want Tez to see because it's got my name and my details in, it's usually me that
I
reads
never
it.
read them.
Yeah. And I'll usually tell him saying, do not click on that chat.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
don't look at the chat. Very rarely.
And I don't, I'm not curious like that.
So yeah.
Also, I like being surprised on the pod in real time.
Yeah.
And so my reactions are very real. I don't know the story.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a 30-year-old Pakistani Muslim woman. She's been married. So also just to let you know, if the woman that's listened to this, it was I've actually condensed what you've sent in. So it was quite a very, very long dilemma. There was a lot of back and forth with us. So I've just condensed it just to make it go through.
And any warning you need to give to
So it might be so for the listeners out there, we discuss relationships. What's the word for saying? Intimacy, I guess.
Intimacy and relations.
Yeah, intimacy and
I
relations.
think are going to be discussed in this scenario. So just so you're aware, in case anyone's
don't let your children listen to this,
that you might be embarrassed in front of.
Yeah. Okay. So, she did actually start by saying how good our podcast is, but I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to put that in there.
Thank you.
So, thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay. So, I'm a 30-year-old Pakistani Muslim woman who has been married for 7 years. We've been together for 10.
Oh wow, go on.
And we have 2 young children. We had relations before marriage, but now we barely have any intimacy. Sometimes we go months without even a hug or a kiss. And I feel emotionally and physically neglected. My husband, who's 35 years old, has gained weight, lives unhealthy, and puts little effort into the relationship. Me, on the other hand, I have focused on my physical and mental health. I have expressed my needs many times, but he often gets defensive and shuts down conversations. I admit that sometimes through frustration, it comes out as anger, which he uses to justify the lack of intimacy, saying he can't be intimate without feeling respected. I'm aware of my own unresolved trauma and I want to start therapy to work through it. Yet the emotional disconnect is quite overwhelming. My husband does come from a controlling and abusive home, and some of the behavior does show up in the marriage, although not in any like physical abusive way. It's controlling in that sense where he's intimately relations reserved. So as in he holds it back.
Withholds.
Withholds, yeah. And he also avoids any romantic or sexual contact on TV. I am loyal, but the lack of emotional and physical connection has left me feeling very stuck. I do get attention from other men, and this is not me even boasting. And I do sometimes think about an ex who made me feel emotionally safe. I'm really unsure what to do. I feel very unwanted and frustrated and increasingly disconnected from my husband. So, just to also put out, I haven't, it's not included in here. She has also said a few times during the conversation that like if my husband was to show me this attention and this love, like like that's all I want basically. So it's not saying that she doesn't want it. She's still there.
She wants him,
She still wants him.
but
She's,
he's
but
not
he's not.
interested. Wow. Whew. A lot to unpack there, isn't it? And
Yeah,
look, before any of you charge into the comments and be like, "Oh, he's gay. He's gay."
it's not.
He's not gay. This is
He's not gay.
is
It's not cheating. She's asked him all this. It's not.
he's probably depressed, and I think it is actually more common than, because this is sort of this sort of conversation we rarely have in our community, right? Because everyone's embarrassed and no one wants to talk about this sort of thing. And I think lack of intimacy, especially over time, is probably not that uncommon. And
Yeah,
actually, it's not uncommon amongst any cultures.
yeah,
This is not a cultural thing. I think this is lack of intimacy over time in a relationship is quite a common thing across cultures, across relationships from anywhere in the world. And I think there's several things here. I think they both need therapy
yep,
separately and together.
yep,
The reason why I think the thing about being respected is valid, but also an excuse. Of course, we all want to be respected in our relationships, and sometimes, if you feel like you're not being respected, you then withhold intimacy as a sort of punishment,
yeah.
because you're like, "Oh, you made me feel like this.
So I'm not going
Fine,
to.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to make you feel good then."
So weeks and months even going without a
Yeah,
hug.
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's really, really
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
And
That's also that's not
where's it
normal.
come from? And it's come from his own self confidence, I think.
Yeah.
There's a real lack of self confidence. The fact that she's kept up her appearances, as she said, but
Yeah.
he's let himself go compared to what they were when they met 10 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever they got married, right? And I think the thing that's not included in there is that we don't know what he does for a living. We
Yeah.
don't know what his stresses are. We don't know what his trigger points are. Is he a doctor, for example? I'm not saying he might not be. Let's say assume he's not. But does he have a stressful job that require a lot of hours, a lot of brain power, or muscle power that renders him exhausted mentally or physically or both at the end of the day? Does he feel not valued in the house? Does he feel like his contributions are not valued? Does he have other problems in other parts of his life? Does he have issues with his wider family, her family, his friends, his colleagues at work? There are a multitude of reasons why he might be feeling the way he does, but intimacy with your spouse is so important. Like you have to hold on to that. It'd
And
be
we
one.
don't even mean we don't really mean just by that the act itself, like as in the behavior, as in the hugging,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the holding hands, being
Holding
affectionate.
hands, hugging, kiss on the cheek, kiss on the forehead. Or like I think we've said before, me and Shy, we pray together every single, well, 3 times a month, 3 weeks a month. We
Three
pray
times a month.
3 times a month, 3 weeks a month. We pray together. I lead, she prays behind me. And at the end of it, after the wars, I'll kiss her on the forehead, just because. And even when we have fights that we don't discuss in the pod, like actual genuine big fights, that is one thing that brings us together, because inevitably at some point after a fight there's going to be a prayer time, and we're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, do you know,
pray."
and then even through gritted teeth
Yeah.
we'll pray together, and that it itself doesn't resolve the issue that we're having, but it softens it.
Yeah.
It makes it then easier to talk to each other a bit later on when we do want to resolve the issue. So intimacy doesn't just mean
The act.
bed relations in bed, which is also very, very important, and don't let go of that either. And I get sometimes there are issues, there are self-esteem issues, there are confidence issues.
There could be like a physical issue. Like there could be something, like
Yeah, and this is what I'm
health,
saying.
as
I
in
think,
health.
yeah, health issues. Yeah, so I'm saying they need separate therapy, and they need couples therapy.
Yeah. You have to
And
communicate.
yeah, because I think it's really sad, the fact I think if she didn't want him anymore,
Yeah, and
that would be a separate thing.
that's
But the
quite
fact that
important as well.
she, like you were saying, like she wants him,
She's
she just wants that
reiterated.
attention
Yeah.
from him. She wants that touch, that love, because attention and intimacy is a mental thing as well as a physical thing.
Yes.
You want to mentally feel good and you
Yep.
want to physically feel the things that you feel, right?
Yeah.
And both of those things are equally important. So I
She
think,
she she does also mention in there the fact that he stays up late. He eats a lot of junk
mm,
late,
mm,
and I know me and you have gone through that a few times. Where I always say to you, stop staying up late, stop
yeah,
staying
yeah,
up late,
yeah.
and it's very important. And I did respond to her, and I said to her about thank you, really appreciate that you trust us with this, and it's it is important to have that time with each other. And if he is staying up late, if he is eating late, there could be a chance where he's feeling like very undesired himself.
If he's feeling
Yeah,
unconfident,
yeah,
lethargic, it sounds like there's self-esteem issues, and so he needs to work through that. But I think the issue is that she can't help him
yeah.
unless he decides to
To
help
help
himself.
himself. Yeah, yeah,
And until that moment comes, until he decides that, okay, there's some changes I need to make in my life. I need to exercise. I need to maybe lose a bit of, not necessarily lose weight, but exercise and get healthier. And that's not always related to weight,
yep.
but just exercise and get healthier. Um,
And make her like,
and go on dates and
yeah,
make
make her
time for
feel
my wife and stuff. But
desired
until
and
he wants to do that and realizes that he has to do that, I feel for her, because how long can she carry on
she sounds like she's been,
in limbo, in
yeah,
this limbo state, not getting attention from the person, from the man that she loves?
yeah. And there's a risk of her. She even says that I do get attention from other men,
And I just
and
pray that, sister, don't go down that route, please. Not until, if and also they got kids in it, so she's not said she wants to leave him.
no,
She's not said she wants to leave him. She's scared of messing up and making a mistake. So I think
she just wants him to notice
yeah,
her.
she should
Yeah.
go to her. She said she wants therapy, right? So start your therapy. Start your therapy.
Mm.
Um, and I think
Get him 100. You have to get him to
we have to get
therapy.
him to
I
therapy,
think
and we also need
maybe,
couples therapy as
yeah,
well.
I think maybe you should suggest you have to be very blunt with him and say, "This is not working for me. Yeah, I'm very unhappy."
And I love you.
Yeah,
I want this to work. I
yeah,
want this to work forever. I want us to be the couple that we were when we got married. Inevitably, obviously, you grow and you change,
yeah,
but that should be positive.
yeah,
Whatever self-esteem issue, because she's now developing self-esteem issues, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's thinking, is it me? Is there something wrong with me and stuff?
Mm,
So whatever self-esteem, confidence issues there are need to be worked through. You need couples therapy to get over it. You need individual therapy to get through whatever trauma and triggers you've got yourselves,
yeah.
and hopefully come out of it the other side. But until he decides that he wants that help,
It's very slippery
they're a
slope.
bit
That is.
stuck.
Yeah, it's very because
And how long can she wait for?
it's true. And I was talking to someone else about this, and I was saying that how it's very like, and I don't want to be harsh and stuff, but like how especially in our community, you hear if it was the other way around, it would be very different.
Yeah. If they
A
got married at
woman
23,
saying,
25, whatever,
yeah,
right? And he kept his health and
mm,
body and looked good physically and whatever, right? And she, for want of a better word,
was
let
depressed.
herself go,
Yeah,
put on weight, didn't really care about her appearance,
and they had no relations.
didn't show any intimacy and stuff. If he went to
Someone they're get married.
someone, they'd be like, bro,
Leave her.
you need to have a no. I think they might initially be like, all right, listen, she needs to make changes, try and help her, and if
Mm.
not, then maybe look elsewhere. People
Yeah,
people
yeah,
would give that sort of advice.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think equally applies in the eyes of God. We are all equal, and men have responsibilities upon their wives. One of which includes making sure that they are physically,
Emotionally,
emotionally looked after,
yeah,
and part
yeah,
of that is intimacy.
yeah.
So intimacy is a key part of marriage, culture, and religion.
Mhm.
So yeah, therapy, trying to resolve it, communication, and if not, you got to bring in. It's a very tricky conversation to bring in a friend in this. So maybe a trusted third party that you can both trust.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Probably not
yeah.
a friend or family.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. And I know that this isn't something we've discussed on the podcast before, but when obviously when someone reaches out and they you can tell that she
So,
really
it's a really
needs,
embarrassing one.
of course it
Did
is.
you say she
She
created
created
a new account?
She created
Yeah.
a brand new account to send it, and my heart really went out to her. Like we were out, I think we were in Manchester, and I was like,
Mm.
and I said to Tez, and I was like, I feel really upset about this, and I hope, I really, really, I hope we can give her some sort of support. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. We really, really appreciate your love and your support. And please remember to like and subscribe,
Yes.
and
And
tell your
share.
friends and share, and tell your friends and everyone what are you appreciative of this week.
I'm actually appreciative of the love that we have for each other, which transgresses many, many boundaries.
Oh God. Right. I am, do you know what? I am appreciative of you, but I was actually having a moment this week where I was thinking that I'm very appreciative of living. And this is after I met the kids yesterday. I'm just so appreciative of the fact that I get to live a certain life that I once dreamed of
Mm.
and wanted and wished for. And I'm living
Wow.
that now. And I think
Wow.
that's very, very, very powerful. So I hope whoever's listening to this, if you're going through anything, if you're feeling anything, just know that things are going to get better. And we will see you guys next week. And don't forget to tell your wives, your partners, your husband, your family, your sisters, your mom, dad, whatever, that you're appreciative of this week. And we
Mhm.
will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.